In this video, we're going to be looking at how to interpret infographics. So infographics basically means that it is an image given to you plus information labeled on the image. So in this case, it talks about the HDB Green Towns program. If you're not familiar with this program, it's actually stated in the question context. It tells you that this is a 10-year program implemented by the Singapore government with the purpose of making HDB towns more sustainable and livable. So there's an idea of sustainability there, there's an idea of livability there. So let's say a question that you can be asked is, explain how the HDB Green Towns program contributes to environmental sustainability. So let's focus on environmental sustainability in particular. What you realize is that the infographic only gives you the points to talk about, but they didn't elaborate on the explanation bit. So what I mean is this. For example, if you want to use solar panels as one of your points, you see the description here, harnessing solar energy to power our HDB estates. If you just quoted this exactly, you haven't answered the question yet, because the question wants you to make the link between why solar panels contribute to environmental sustainability. So you need to tell me things like solar energy is renewable, which means that to power your HDB estates, if you rely more on solar energy and less on fossil fuel consumption, actually overall your energy grid is powered by more renewable energy, allowing you to decrease carbon emissions, which then makes the world less prone to global warming. So that's what makes it environmentally sustainable. Another way we can do this is, let's say we look at electric vehicle chargers. Again, telling you that we are gearing up for an EV-ready future doesn't help you explain why is it this is environmentally sustainable. You need to tell me that electric vehicles, when they are driving along the road, they actually don't emit carbon emissions compared to your traditional vehicles. And that is why if there's a greater proportion of vehicles on the road that are powered by electricity, then you're going to get a lower concentration of carbon dioxide in your atmosphere, and that will help to reduce global warming. Same thing with greenery intensification. All you see here is beautifying our estates and bringing the community together. Great! It sounds like a social sustainability thing, but remember again, our question is about environmental sustainability. So other than beautifying the area, what else does greenery bring? Greenery actually lowers temperatures because it doesn't absorb as much heat as concrete. So in the end, you get a cooler area, cooler buildings, and you don't have to use as much energy to regulate temperatures in the buildings. So you save energy, therefore it contributes to environmental sustainability. So the idea about infographics is they give you the point, but you need to make the link to the question yourself. So that's why infographics only answer part of the question. The other part is reliant on your own knowledge to supplement your points or to support your argument. Moving on to this. So the figure shows you the benefits of planting trees in urban areas. And let's say the question focuses on explain the benefits of urban trees to people. So I only want to focus my attention on how do people benefit from it. If you look at all these examples here, it is not clear that people benefit from it. The very obvious ones are this: reduce stress, social cohesion, increase physical activity, reduce rates of cardiac disease, so on and so forth, reduce air pollution by filtering particulate matter. So out of these 5 things, you need to relate it to the idea of how people benefit. So for example, if you just stated that the more trees I plant, fewer people are going to get cardiac disease, strokes and asthma, you're not actually answering the question yet. The question is, how does it happen? So if you relate air pollution to this, for example, if there are more trees, it filters on the particulate matter, and therefore, people are not as prone to suffering from diseases, respiratory diseases like asthma. You're actually explaining the effect of trees on people. So another one, reduce stress. If you just cited from the diagram, trees reduce stress, full stop, you will not get any mark, because again, you are not explaining the link between how trees provide an environment which allows people to reduce stress. So you need to tell me things like trees probably is a recreational area, it allows people to look at greenery, there's a certain aesthetic appreciation of it, and therefore it helps people reduce stress. Then yes, this would be a valid point. Next one, supporting social cohesion. Again, how? So trees, typically related to parks or a certain area where there are benches there where people can gather, sit down, have a picnic, talk to different people. That's where it supports social cohesion. In terms of physical activity, normally again, trees are associated with parks. In an area where the streets are lined with trees, it's probably an area where people can jog, people can walk a bit more. Because the air is more cooling, you get a bit more shade. That's why people prefer or can choose to walk, which increases physical activity, helps with their health as well. So reiterating my point, whatever points you see on the infographic, make sure you explain it in relation to what the question wants.